In today's video, I'm going to show you how you can get completely set up on the map Terminus in Black Ops 6 Zombies on round 1 with no Gobblegums. On this run, I managed to pack-a-punch a legendary weapon with an ammo mod, get 4 perks, a mutant injector, and even a ray gun all before round 2 started. Now, I know some of you guys might be asking, how in the world is this possible? And right away, I want to give credit to a YouTube channel called Trial Fail. I'll leave a link in the description for you guys to go check them out. I've been watching them beat the Terminus Easter egg on round 1 on their live streams, and many of the methods that I showcase in today's video I learned from them. Now, before we get into the run, let me show you guys my recommendations for what loadout you'll want to use if you want to give this a try. So for your loadout, I highly recommend using an assault rifle of your choice. The only 2 attachments that are important are going to be the suppressor to gain you extra salvage for the zombies that you do kill, and I highly recommend bringing in the standard launcher as the underbarrel, which you guys will see why here in just a moment. Next up, make sure you bring in Ether Shroud. You can have whichever augments you like on this, but this is going to be really important. And then for your tactical, bring a concussion grenade, and for your lethal, bring an impact grenade. Now, you can play around with this loadout and still make this method work. This is just what I recommend. So right at the start of the run, you're going to want to try to kill any Janus security officers that are still alive, and then you're going to begin to horde up all of the round 1 zombies into a group. Make sure to get most of the zombies spawned in and in a group before you activate the first generator, but then you can proceed as normal by turning on the generator, and you're going to start shooting only the zombies with the purple eyes. For the most part, the rule of thumb on this run is you're not going to kill any zombies unless you absolutely have to. So we're going to go through while the generator powers up, killing all the purple-eyed zombies, and then right as the generator finishes, it will electrify our horde of zombies that we prepared. And if you time this correctly, you can actually take your impact grenade and throw it into the horde to kill the zombies, and it won't actually kill them, but it'll give you the points as if you killed the zombies. So they will all respawn, and this is a great way to get extra points in the early game. So there we go. We went ahead and got our first horde taken care of. Now we're going to run into the next room and shoot any security officers that we can and go prone at quick revive for the loose change. Then we're going to work our way out of spawn towards the stamina up room, where we're going to do the same exact thing. So through these doors here, we actually ended up getting pretty lucky with multiple security officers on this run. And then we're going to go prone at stamina up for the loose change again and head out of this door, where we're going to have yet again another officer spawn. So these spawns change round to round, just like this zombie here. We're going to go ahead and shoot them. Any zombies that you find that are trapped under rubble or barriers or anything like that, you'll want to go ahead and shoot. And then that's a tricky little spot right there where you can actually shoot the security officer in the Juggernog area before opening up the door. Then we're going to go ahead and go prone at Jug, and we're going to go upstairs to do the pool table Easter egg for another 100 essence. And in this early game, it's all about maximizing our early game points. So I'm going to head outside here. Sometimes if you jump right at this ramp, you can see a zombie down in the facility area. Did not get that one to spawn this time, so we're going to go ahead and kill this trapped zombie. And looking for more zombie spawns. As you practice this more and more, you'll get a hang of where the zombies spawn in and how many points you need at which part. But here we have enough points to go ahead and get our generator started. And this is going to be exactly the same as the first generator, except this time, instead of using equipment, we're just going to shoot the zombies once they get electrified to try to get as many points as possible. So keeping the horde together, shooting the purple-eyed zombies. Pretty simple, but this is a great little trick that I've started implementing in all of my runs on Terminus, not just my round 1 attempts. All right, so here we go. The generator is going to finish, and once the zombies are electrified, I try to shoot as many of them as I can. You can see we have enough points to go ahead and open up our next door. Kill this Janus security officer for some extra points. Now we're going to go prone at the elemental pop perk machine for some more loose change. And right out here, we're going to shoot the full power up that's hidden on this map. It's a little bit tricky to do without a scope, but the reason we're getting this full power is because we are about to go swimming around the map, and Patient 13 will summon a cloud of toxic gas that will damage you, and it is very quick to kill you. So we need our Ether Shroud in an event where we're in the middle of the ocean and we have to get that targeting off of us. We can activate that to actually extend how long we can be swimming. But the first island that we're going to go swimming towards is this island in the top right of the map. And there's a couple things we're looking for here. Number one, primarily, there are treasure chests scattered all throughout the map that we are going to be searching for. That's one potential spawn where it wasn't this game. here is our next and first treasure chest actually, and these come with salvage and points and weapons and equipment, all sorts of different rewards. I'm also going to pick up this wristwatch, which if you find it while you're out and about, definitely pick it up because it's going to be useful for something we're doing later. You can also, if you don't find it, that's totally fine because you'll get it marked on the map exactly where it is later on into this run. So you're going to want to grab the shovel from this island, and you're going to take all the dig spots around the map and dig those up, as well as doing the treasure chest. So basically we're getting as much salvage and as much essence as we can without killing any of our zombies. Once you're satisfied with everything you got off this island, we're going to begin our long swim back over to the platform that we jumped off of. And this is a good time to talk about how the Patient 13 gas cloud works. Basically, if you spend too much time swimming in the water or driving on a boat, they will have the giant tentacles shoot out of the water and summon gas to come and try to kill you, just like you're seeing on the screen now. But if you spend enough time on land, you can kind of reset this effect. Another thing that you can do is you can take this zip line up and down, and that will also reset the effect as well too. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And then also, if you happen to find the island with the spores on it, you can shoot these spores and kill these parasites for some extra points in the early game as well. So I just want to call that out. But now we're going to go ahead and once again dive into the water. There's kind of a lot of swimming in this early game route, and we're going to head towards Crab Island. Now Crab Island has a few chest spawns, so right away you're going to see this first chest spawn that we're going to open up, grab our essence, and then we're going to head onto land and go to the left side here. We're looking for dig piles, and we're looking for another chest spawn location, which we're going to see it did actually spawn over here in the water on this one. Some free essence. And now we're going to set up the crab Easter egg, which is the backbone for what allows us to do so much in round 1 here on Terminus. This is one of the reasons why I recommended bringing in the grenade launcher on your assault rifle, and so that we had an explosive with us that we could activate the Easter egg with, which if you haven't done this, there is a tree on Crab Island. I'm looking for another chest here, by the way. So I don't find it in that location, but I did find it over here on this spot. So that is another treasure chest done. But there's a box up in a tree that you need to blow up with either an equipment or a grenade launcher, and that's going to summon the crab whack-a-mole minigame in 4 different locations. So we're going to do this location here, and each location guarantees different rewards depending on how you do during the whack-a-mole. So on this spot here, the reward is salvage, and the reason that we're doing this one early is so that we can craft a C4, which we're going to need for the next step of what we're doing. But each one of these mini games, you basically just want to try to hit as many crabs as possible, and you can't usually hit more than 2 per like round, but hit as many crabs as you can, because the better that you do, usually the better your reward is for completing this Easter egg. So the first of 4 crab spots is done. We're going to scoop up all this extra salvage, and I'm going to go over to the crafting station and make a C4. The other 3 locations guarantee a free perk, a blue rarity weapon, and the one that's the best is a bunch of essence, anywhere between like 2,500 to 5,000 essence, and we're going to combo that with a free double points that we can spawn in, but that comes a little bit later. So now we're going to swim over to the ship, and there is a free bonus points power up that we're going to shoot up here in this window. It's a little tricky to see, but we're going to scoop that up for a free 500 essence. I'm going to jump over the side rail because there are a few chest spawns here to search for. Primarily, the 2 that you see are the ones that are the most common for me when I'm doing this, but here is a chest spawn on the front of the ship. And then if we turn around and go through this door, there's usually another chest spawn right here as well. I think the number is 8, but I could be wrong about that. Let me know in the comments. But once we collect enough treasure chests, the very final treasure chest actually gives you a free perk. So in addition to all the salvage and the essence, it is definitely essential to getting as strong as possible on round 1. While we're running and getting into position for the next treasure chests, let me point out one mistake that I've made already. Before you get the last treasure chest and get your free perk, you should complete the crab Easter egg that gives you a perk reward. As you're going to see later in this run, I get stamina up from completing the treasure chests, and then I also got the stamina up perk from the crab Easter egg. So that's one little way that this route could be optimized a bit better, but if that's confusing, you guys will see what I mean later on. So this is kind of one of the longer swims here. It's a little bit scary. I almost always am running from the gas on this one. As you guys can see, the tentacle just spawns, but you can make it, I promise. Worst case scenario, if you're gonna die, make sure to pop your ether shroud. But we're gonna swim to the far north western island. And here we're basically just looking for dig piles as well as sunken treasure chests like this one here. So we'll scoop up the essence and the salvage from that. We're going to go ahead and grab this dig pile. There's a green weapon there that you could take as a secondary. By all means, definitely do so. We've got more salvage and essence. And we're pretty much just going to repeat this with as many spots as we can, while also waking up as many zombies as we can from around the map too, and adding them to our horde of zombies. The way that this works is the zombie kill timer, which will automatically flip the round, doesn't begin until you turn on the power. So we're going to leave off our third generator for as long as we physically can to extend our round as long as we can. But now that we've gotten everything off of this island, we're going to make what is the longest swim of this route to go all the way back to the platform with the boat spawn and elemental pop. And I'm just going to showcase here the use of Ether Shroud. So right away, we have the tentacle spawn in. I'm going to swim as fast as I can and outswim the gas for as long as I can before using my Ether Shroud. And you guys will see you can totally make this just fine, which is why we grabbed that full power early on into the run. So I'm looking at my mini map here while I'm swimming, and then right before the gas catches up to us, we're going to go ahead and activate this Ether Shroud and then keep swimming from this point. And I think this actually makes it despawn. I haven't really died after using Ether Shroud at all. I don't know if it can come back, but either way, it gives us plenty of time to swim where we need to go. I'm going to go ahead and shoot this extra spore that I can see from the water on this island. Again, every point matters, so any little bit that you can do to give yourself more essence is useful when trying to open up doors, because the next step is for us to get into the facility so that we can set up our C4 on the free double points power up. Now, you will more than likely at this point have to kill some zombies. That's totally fine. Just keep in mind that you don't want to accidentally end the round and kill all of your zombies. So we'll go prone at PhD Flopper. We're going to look for our dig piles in the cave. You guys have seen this so far, but we're going to need some more points before we get into our next door, which means that I'm going to kill a few zombies here. Luckily, there's a zombie that sometimes spawns down there trapped in the rubble, but only kill exactly what we need to get into the facility. And now we've got a lot more that we can do. We're going to avoid turning on the generator, as I mentioned before, but we're going to go for a swim in the water and look for our final treasure chests here. There's a lot of different spawns. I'm, doing my best to showcase which ones I'm looking for on the screen. That way you guys know where to look. In this instance, there wasn't one down this long cave, but you guys will see the other ones that we do find in the facility. So I've got the tentacle spawned in, kind of unlucky, but I know that we're close to a treasure chest. So I'm going to go ahead and open this one real quick before the gas gets to me, and we got 500 or so essence from that one, which is pretty good. Gonna go ahead and hop up onto this ledge so we don't die, and go prone at melee macchiato so that we can get our loose change. And now I'm going to let the cooldown off the gas go for a little bit before we look for our last chest here. So again, at this point, there's really no reason not to have gotten the free perk from the crab game first. So I would definitely recommend that. But here is our last treasure chest. You're going to see we got a pack-a-punch crystal on this case, which is a pretty rare drop, but a very good one, especially for what we're going to be doing next. But we also got our free perk in the form of Stamina Up, which is an awesome early game perk, especially on such an early round. So here you see me heading into the area with the free double points power up, and this is where we're going to stage a C4. That way we can trigger the power up later once we do the essence Easter egg for the crabs. Also going to take the time to shoot the zombies that are locked up in the cages for some free. And now we're going to work our way out of the facility back through the PhD flopper tunnel, and we're going to swim back to Crab Island. With our C4 in place, we're going to go ahead and go to the left side of the island where this crab mini game is. This is the one that gives us the essence as the reward. So focus up, hit as many crabs as you can. And as soon as the mini game is done, we're going to back up, blow up our C4, scoop up our double points, and then grab as much essence as the game gives us. So you can see right now we're at about 1,800 essence. And once we finish up this mini game, we'll see how much we have afterwards. All right, so that is the mini game done. We're going to go ahead and blow up the C4, grab our double points, and now we are at 12,000 essence. So we managed to get about 10,000 essence from doing that one mini game, and now We have a lot of money where we can open up whatever doors we need to. We can buy extra perks, we can pack a punch, but we're gonna hold off on upgrades for now. Now you see me running over to the crab minigame that gives us the free perk. And as I've mentioned a few times so far, unfortunately we get very unlucky here. And at the end, our reward is the stamina perk, which we already have from completing the treasure chests. So again, mental note, do this one when you do the salvage, right? As soon as you activate the crab Easter egg mini games, you might as well do this one and the salvage one. That way you don't double up and get a duplicate perk. So from this point, we are now going to go ahead and turn on our last generator, and we are going to grab Melee Macchiato to do the Captain's Treasure Easter egg, the Cursed Talisman Easter egg. Which, if you've never seen done before, basically requires us to find that wristwatch that we grabbed earlier out of the water and return it to the captain. But the second step gives us 3 HVTs around the map that we can eliminate, which not only give us points, but they have a chance to drop keys, which allow us to use the vault. And they also, once completing that step of the Easter egg, drop 3 different legendary weapons for us to choose from. And this is how we're going to get a pack-a-punched legendary weapon at the end of our run here before round 2 begins. But like I said, in order to do that, we need to turn on the generator. So much like before, we're going to hoard up our zombies, shoot any zombies with purple eyes, and then once the horde is electrified, get as many kills as we can before they disappear. Now with the power on, we did start a zombie timer, which I believe is about 10 minutes or so. So keep in mind that we are now on a crunch to get things done before our zombies die out and round 2 begins. But we'll buy Melee Macchiato here, which is necessary for the next Easter egg. And we're also going to go open up the door to the Speed Cola side of the caves. One other thing we're going to do really quick is craft 3 Molotov cocktails. You should have enough salvage at this point to craft Molotov cocktails, or if you found any from your dig piles, we're going to need 3 of these in order to complete our Easter egg here for the captain. I was a little bit short on my salvage, so I ended up having to kill a few of my zombies until I got a salvage to drop, but you'll need 3 Molotov cocktails in order to get this Easter egg completed. And right away, you could see that even if this is all we got done in round 1, I mean, having a pack-a-punch weapon and 2 perks by the end of the first round and 10,000 essence is insane, but it gets even better. So make sure you stick around to the end of the video. So we're going to punch the seawall here and reveal the captain's quest. We already grabbed the watch, so that just saves us some time. We can turn it in right away. And now we need to go around to 3 different locations in order to kill the 3 different HVTs. So now that we've got that done, we'll go ahead and lift up the pack-a-punch platform. We're going to pack a punch our weapon later on if we don't get a crystal as a reward, and we'll go ahead and hop in a boat. So our first HVT can be found on the giant boat here on the map. We're going to go ahead and go onto the boat, and the first pile of bones is actually on this pole right here in the middle of the ship. So we're going to throw our Molotov cocktail right at the pile of bones, which is going to awaken the HVT. Now, luckily we did get our weapon pack-a-punched earlier on from opening up the treasure chest, but if you don't have a pack-a-punched weapon at this point, it is going to be pretty tricky to kill this guy, and it's going to take quite a while. It's definitely still possible, but just know that without a pack-a-punched weapon, this is going to be a little bit harder. It is going to be 3 of these manglers that we have to kill. One of them is actually a lot easier because we can use the Insta-kill power-up, but we'll showcase that here in just a second. So I just like to run in a circle, aim for his head, deal as much damage as possible. If you didn't get pack-a-punch, you could also get blue rarity weapons from one of the crab mini games on the island, which can help deal some extra damage to the HVTs as well. But eventually you are going to do enough damage to actually kill the HVT, which will not only reward you with points for killing them, but you'll get one of the 3 C coins that you need. We also got a mutant injector from this mangler because it does just count like killing a regular mangler, so that's awesome. But you can also get salvage, and in this case we got a key that we can use in the locker as well. When you pick up these coins, be warned, your health regeneration is slowed down a ton until you finish this Easter egg quest. So make sure to give yourself enough time to get away when you get damaged until your health comes back, because it can definitely down you really quickly if you're not careful. But now we're going to take our boat all the way back to the northwestern island, and this is the HVT that is the easiest to kill because there is a hidden insta-kill power-up in the rubble that we can activate here. So park your boat. We're going to get out. We're going to throw our Molotov at the second pile of bones, which can be found right here. And then we're going to immediately shoot the insta-kill power up and wait to pick it up for when the HVT is up and running. Insta-kill just makes you do increased damage against the HVT. So again, it makes this fight the easiest one. I like to just try to stay close to them so they run at me instead of shooting at me, and then just walk backwards while shooting them in the head. But now we've got our second coin, and we got a blue loot key for killing that one. And we've got just one HVT left to go, which is going to be back on the island that's on the east side of the map, where we went to first looking for treasure chests. So another mistake that I made in this run is I forgot about the basketball Easter egg, which you can do once you get a pack-a-punched weapon. I don't remember until the end of the run to do that, but that is worth another 2,000 essence if you do complete it. But now we're at our third pile of bones, so we're gonna go ahead and throw our Molotov down. Try to be careful not to kill your zombies with the Molotovs. Right now, I'm just looking for the boat Easter egg, which is another Easter egg we're gonna be completing in just a moment, but it's not actually at this location. So here's the third and final HVT that we are gonna be taking down. You can see I do actually run out of ammo on this fight and have to switch to my other weapon, and luckily I have enough bullets to finish him off, but there is an ammo buy station on this island as well if you need to refill your weapon. All right, so that is our last HVT down. We can go ahead and grab our third and final coin. He also spawned a chopper gunner, so again, super useful way to get some really great score streaks on round one. But now we're gonna get in our boat and we're gonna go look for the boat Easter egg, which if you haven't seen the boat race Easter egg before, there are 3 different locations on the main islands of these speedboats, these RC cars that are sunken in the water. One of them will be blinking a red light, and if you interact with that boat, it will start the boat race Easter egg, which is really useful to get some weapons, salvage, essence, ether tools. I've had all sorts of things drop out of this Easter egg as a reward. So we'll go ahead and showcase a little bit of the boat race Easter egg gameplay here for you guys. It's pretty simple. You just have to steer through the rings. It kind of reminds me of OG Spyro flight missions, if you guys ever played Spyro. But you can speed boost and just make sure you take your time. The better that you do probably influences the reward that you get, but it doesn't seem to be super consistent or clear. I've had it all. Like I said, perks, ether tools, weapons, you name it. But there is plenty of time to finish this race, and when you do, you will automatically be teleported to the platform with elemental pop and the boat spawn, and you'll be able to loot your trophy reward for your various items. On this particular run, I got 140 points, and the specific items I got were a stim shot, a frag grenade, and a purple ether tool. So this was actually on the lower end of rewards in terms of what I would prefer. We would have loved to have gotten a free perk there, obviously, but it is random. So while this route and method is fairly consistent, and I usually end up with about 4 perks, a legendary weapon, all these other things, sometimes you have crazy runs where you end up with even more, and sometimes you end up with a little bit less. It just depends on the RNG. But now we're going to return to the captain inside of the Speed Cola cave, and we are going to turn in our 3 coins, and this is going to give us the choice of 3 random legendary weapons as a reward for our efforts. So whichever weapon you prefer, go ahead and pick that up, and that is the weapon that we are then going to pack-a-punch, which gives us a legendary tier 1 pack-a-punch weapon on round 1 in zombies. Absolutely insane. But we're not done yet. At this time, with our extra points, we're going to go ahead and buy some extra perks. So I'm going to go ahead and purchase Juggernog. And I also remembered that I had the key from killing the Manglers. So we're going to go check and see what our key gives us. Now, obviously, this is completely random as well, but we actually got lucky enough to get the ray gun out of our locker, as well as some extra salvage. So not only did we end up with a pack-a-punch legendary weapon, we got a wonder weapon on round 1, which is just insanely lucky. I'm obviously not going to promise that that's going to happen in your game, but it is at least possible when doing this method. So as I mentioned before, I did forget about the basketball Easter egg, which could have given us some more points. I'm actually going to kill a few more zombies because we're close to getting a 4th perk and getting an ammo mod. And what you guys will see is I'm going to buy quick revive, and then I'm going to apply dead wire onto our legendary weapon. And right after applying dead wire, our zombie timer from when we activated the power is going to end and send us into round 2. But technically, all in round 1, we are fully set up with a legendary weapon, 4 perks, a ray gun, an ammo mod, a mutant injector, and boy oh boy, it is so crazy what can be done on these maps in Black Ops 6. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that showcase and are going to give this a try. It's actually really fun to try to maximize what all you can get done and complete. If you guys can think of anything that I missed on this route or ways to improve this, please let me know in the comments down below. Again, huge shout out to Trial Fail for completing the Terminus Easter egg on round 1 without any Gobblegums. That is an insane amount of dedication to complete that, and that's where I learned a lot of these techniques. But if you guys enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel for more, because we are just 1 week away from Citadel Day More, the new zombies map, as well as other updates coming to Black Ops 6 Zombies that we're going to be covering right here on the channel. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.